thank you for joining me, Toni Darroch, live in my studio. We've got lots going on today. I've got quite a few things that I want to show you all and a few things that I want to talk about. So if you are tuning in for the first time, welcome from wherever in the world you are. We have a lot of viewers now in the USA and various places, so welcome to this lovely channel. This is a channel where we share everything. We create, we inspire, and we try to share. So if you do find something you love, don't forget to share whatever you make, and then it might inspire another crafter to get their stash out and have a play also. If you're watching on Facebook, don't forget to pop a comment below after I've posted the pictures of the finished makes. This puts you in with a chance to win one of the studio makes. And if you're watching over on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button. This allows you to see all the notifications when live studios are occurring. They are every Monday and every Wednesday at 4 p.m. But we do also post our quick pick videos, which are 1 minute 30 videos, which shows you in quick speed the demonstrations that we've done live in studio. So maybe you're a crafter on the go and don't have a chance to watch the full live studio, then maybe you might pick up some inspiration from the quick video if you're confident in trying something from that. So today's demonstrations, we're going to do something a little bit different. I have had a few emails, a few questions about the Himi pastels. Himi pastels are now back in stock. Some of the other products are now out of stock, unfortunately. And I know a lot of you have been playing with the pastels and trying new techniques and things like that. I have seen a few makes and they are fabulous. And I did do a video for you a month or so ago with a sped up video of me playing with pastels for the first time. I have done a second video, so I'm going to leave you to watch this one while I get ready for my first demonstration. Here you go. maybe that might be something you'd like to try with your pastels. Now, I have been practicing for a while. It doesn't come easy. It's not something that you can just pick up and be fabulous at it. I'll be absolutely honest with you. You've got to give it a go. So next week, bank holiday, Monday, we will be using the pastels. So it's a great thumbs up to the people that have bought them. So you can get yours out if you already have purchased them and you can craft along with me. Or you might have an alternative in your stash. So we will still be making cards, but using some fabulous bright pastels. So let's get on to our demonstrations today. So over the course of the last 6 to 8 studios, we've used the free members gift. We're going to leave the members gift alone today. We're going to have a break. So we're going to use some of our earlier products in today's studio, and I'm going to show you how to chop it up a little bit and maybe look at them in an alternative fashion. So in today's studio, we're going to use these products. So I have the lovely deco plate ones, which we used a couple of weeks ago, but we launched these at least 6 to 8 months ago, and I know a lot of you have already got these, but if you haven't got these, please don't just turn off thinking, well, I haven't got the product so it doesn't work. That's not the case. You might have something in your stash that will work and give you the same look. So I'm going for the big size stamp on this one. So I'm using this one here, and this is the one with the fabulous lily on there, so it's absolutely huge. We're also using the ornate one, which is beautiful when it's heat embossed. I'm also going to be using this fabulous one for the demo number 2, and we're going to use the little element here for that one. This is one of my favourites. We launched this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then we're going to be just using the circle dies from our artistic mounts. So these are your nesting circles. So they're the 4 products that we're going to use. I think we're also going to use the dies from our Create and Craft Club members free gift. So if you've got the coordinating die to their free gift, I'm going to be using that one as well today. So the technique that I'm going to show you today is this sort of technique. So basically, it's quite straightforward, but it gives a completely different look. So for this card, I used 4 shades of pink. Now you can use any shade you want. As long as they're plain in colour, you will get this sort of look. But the great thing about this is if you use 4 sheets and you cut them into 4, you can make 4 cards. How cool is that? Because each strip lends itself to another card. So here are all my strips that I've chopped into, so we can make 4 cards. Now you can go from light to dark. You can mix them up like I've done here. So I could have gone this colour, swap those 2 around. I just felt this give quite a striking look with this down the centre here. But I'm going to show you exactly the same concept and how I did it, but we are going to go light to dark so you can see how different it looks. So don't forget, whatever you do, you can create 4 cards. This is a Celebrate You die from the members gift as well. So if you did get that die, this is the one. It's quite big. So let me just show you, for instance, what I mean by 4. So I'll just grab what I'm working with. So I've got 4 shades of aqua green here. So from light to dark. And to get this technique, you need to have all your pieces of card in the same size. Okay, so this one is 4.5 by 6. And I am just going to double check that for you now, just 1 second. Yep, that's right. So 4 pieces of card, 4.5 by 6. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to place the first piece of card into the corner of our Eureka, and every piece of card needs popping in the same place for this technique. And I'm just going to hold my magnet in place so my artwork is secure in the corner of this Eureka here. So now you would normally put your stamp face down, but because I've done 3 of them ahead of time, I can't move my stamp because the stamp needs to be in the same place. But I know that it's all going to work because my card has been in the same place throughout all 4 sheets of cardstock. So I'm just going to use my anti-static bag all over this card. I'm saying it's card, it's more like paper, 180 GSM probably, maybe a little bit less. So I'm just going to anti-static that, and the stamp that we used in this one is the lily, so you can see there, and the one that we're using on the aqua colour card is this one here, so it's ornate, and we're going to do this one in gold. It looks fabulous. So I'm using a sticky ink pad because I'm going to be using some embossing powder. And I'm just going to cover the stamp all over. Now, I could have shown you how to position the stamp, but I felt like you would probably fall asleep by the time I'd heat emboss the third sheet. So I've done 3 ahead of time, and we'll do 1 live in studio. So lots of taps on there, get some nice coverage. Just going to cover the whole piece of that card there. And that looks like it's stamped absolutely fine. Just get that bottom corner. Perfect. So for this one, I'm going to do it in gold. So we'll have 2 completely different looks. So it'll be down to your choice at home, what you want to use to create the look you're trying to achieve. So I've done the lily one in white, and in this one, I'm doing like a bit of a bronzy gold colour. See how lovely that is. So when we come to heat emboss that one, it'll be beautiful. So just set that aside. So we'll just heat set this one with our gun. So always remember, if you're using embossing powder, you need to always heat set it because it will just drop off otherwise. I'll get my gun good and hot, and then I'll get less warp in the actual cardstock. So get it as hot as you can. I would say about 30 seconds, 20 seconds off the page. And as soon as it gets to the temperature I want it to get to, pop it straight on, and you'll see the colour change instantly. So once I'm happy it's all heat set, let's just have a look here. There you can see how beautiful that is. It's like a rosy goldy colour, it's beautiful. So we've got this one, so let's set this aside. Just pop this one back on its carrier sheet there. So here we go, here are the 3 others we did. So we've got 4 all together now, 1, 2, 3, 4, all in the colourways that we need. So when I start to chop into this, what will happen is I'll be able to get 4 cards, but if I cut it into 3, it'll make 3 cards, and if I cut it in half, obviously it'll make 2. So you don't have to cut it in lines. You could cut it from corner to corner and swap the 2 colours, put a different colour together. You know, be creative with it if you want to. So earlier when we started, I said that this was 4 wide, it's 5 wide. So if you are going to copy this card exactly, it's 5 wide and 6.5 long. So if you want to make a note of that, you'll be able to do this technique at home. So specifically if you have the deco plate stamps as well. But whatever you do, whatever project you're working to at home, make sure all 4 pieces are the same size and the stamp doesn't move. So if you have got a Eureka or a stamping aid, both the card and the stamp need to be in exactly the same place. If you do like any of the products that we are using in show, you can just go onto the website and pop FBL into the search engine, and it'll bring up all the products that we're using live in show. So I'm going to cut this into 4, so I want them all to be even. So it's 5 divided by 4, 1.25. So I'm just going to pop this in my guillotine, and I'm just going to cut this single strip 1.25. So now if you've got the confidence to do them all at once, if you've got a really good guillotine which will cut through several pieces at once, then go for it. But because my guillotine is on its last legs and sometimes just doesn't want to cut through paper, I'm just taking my time with it and cutting them individually. So I'm just going to set them all aside in lines. So the next one again. .25. And this would look fabulous in patterned paper already, so if you don't want to stamp and create your own patterned backgrounds and you've got lots of patterned paper at home that you're thinking, oh, you could open your own shop if you're anything like me with the papers that you have, then this technique would work really, really well on patterned paper, and then a lovely sentiment just in the centre, and you know, you're good to go really. So this is the third sheet of 4. Just set that aside. Then the last one. So I did the pink one earlier today, so in effect I've got 4 cards from that, and I'm doing this one now, given I'm only doing one live on air, but the other 3 I will make up, so I've got, in effect, I've got 8 cards. So if you are a crafter who, you know, needs to make a lot of cards at once, this is a great thing to do. So I'm just putting them in colours together like so, so we can see. And like I said before, we are going to go dark to light on this one. So I'll just grab the card blank. Now on this one, I didn't put anything behind. I just felt, you know, it looked nice white, the coloured onto white. But on this one, I'm going to go for a piece of gold behind and see if it creates a different look. So before I go ahead and construct anything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how the look on the gold. So I'm going to take one from the dark. I'm going to set it on there. Then the next shade is this one, and I'm going to take number 2. So it coordinates, and you can see it matches beautifully because of how you've done it. Then the next shade is the 3rd, and then the last one is the lightest. So we're going dark to light on this one. Can you see? So let's just see if we are going to get a beautiful border on there. So I'm just going to move all of these out of the way, and we will put them together to create further cards later. So let's construct this card. So before I stick it onto here, I'm going to stick it onto here first. So I'm just going to use some Collal for this one. So our first strip first. Now if you use tape, that's fine. Use what you're confident with. I'm just going to go for the glue straight away. I'm just going to pop it down this side, so I have a little bit of the gold exposed. And then the next shade. I'm trying to take the glue right to the end so it will butt up nicely when it comes to the other colour. So you can see how it's coming together now. And if you stick this onto like the gold like I am, if you've not quite got your measurements right, then you can pop it back in your guillotine and trim it while it's all glued in place, then pop it on the card. That was a lesson I learned earlier. I've had so much fun doing this technique today though. So I'm just butting that up. So it's a great way to use the lovely coloured card you've got, because to be honest with you, I don't use it as much as I should, and I've got so much of it and I keep buying it, which is crazy really. I'm sure everybody is the same. I'm just going to pop this one on the end, And then this should, this one will leave a lovely border at this side as well. I'm just going to make sure it butts up nicely. And what you have is this absolute rainbow effect where it just looks really, really cool. But as like I said earlier, you can use your pattern papers also. So can you just see, I'm not sure if you can see there, but I've just got a little bit of overhang on the gold, but do you know what? It's okay, because I like the gold on the left and the right. But if you wanted gold on the top and the bottom, just make sure your backing card is a little bit bigger. So I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stick this straight onto the top folding note card. Without spilling glue all over. And like I said to you on last studio, like I've got a little bit of glue there and that'll frustrate me. Wait till it dries. Don't faff with it because you'll just spread it around. Wait till it dries and then remove it with an eraser. And you have this like beautiful rainbow effect. So ahead of time, can we see there? So you could matte and layer it straight onto a gold top folding note card. That would be fabulous also. So ahead of time, I cut the happy birthday from the members gift in white cardstock, and I did it 4 times. And what I did was I stacked them on top of each other, and I've created myself like this embellishment here. Can you see? It's just got a bit of dimension in there. It just makes my project look less flat. Because the project is quite flat, albeit stunning, it's flat. So if you do something with dimension, it just gives your work a whole new look really. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this one onto the project, just flat, and I'm just using the PT glue because it's got the precision end. Make sure I get quite a bit on there so I know it's not going to budge. I'm going to offset this just down on this side here a little bit. Yep, I'll go there. And I'll just pop a block on top while it decides to stick. So while that's sticking, I'm just going to grab some gems. And we'll just pop some gems around. So I'm just going to pop a tiny one. So the other remaining pieces of green, what I will do with those is maybe mix them up. So I might have 2 dark shades on the outside and then so it draws your eye into the centre. But it's entirely up to how you want to do yours. So this is the lovely green one. So you can see it's absolutely fabulous. Just a great look with little to no effort really. And then this is the pink one where I didn't go in like formation with colour. So 2 different looks but the same, absolutely same concept. So that's demonstration number 1. I hope you liked that one. You're probably thinking, oh, it's too time consuming, you have to heat emboss 4 images or 3 images, however many times I'm going to cut into it, but it is truly worth it. And you know, we encourage new techniques and to try new things because people can create some great looks. And I know if you try this technique on something else, you'll pop it on the Eureka fan page and I'll be like, why did I not think of that? That's amazing. So let's move on to demonstration number 2, which is a really quick demo. So if you're speed crafting and you like to do quick cards, well, you'll like the next demo. So I'll just set these ones aside. I'm just going to grab my Eureka. Just move these ones out of the way. So I have a white top folding note card here, and I'm just going to create a little bit of a background. So I'm just going to hold this in place with my magnets. And the stamp that we're using for this one is Anything Is Possible. I know a lot of you have got this one, but if you haven't, if you haven't and you do like it, you know where to go. But you might have something in your stash which has got sort of a bouquet-y element to it. These are huge, by the way, that's huge, but I'm going to use the tiny one just for my background. So this is the carrier sheet, so you can see this is a huge one and this is a tiny one. So I'm just going to pop it. I just want it to creep over the corner. I don't want it as like a full entity. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this one in grey. So staple items in your stash is always to have a nice grey ink pad. So I'm using grey flannel today. It's just a memento, but if you have Versamark one, that works as well. It's just background. I'm not colouring it or anything, so it doesn't really matter what it's made of. So it's just caught the corner there. So I'm just going to move my artwork. Rather than put my hands on the stamp, I'm just going to move my artwork. That's fine. So I'm just trying to catch it over the corners. So we've created like a little bit of a background already with that one. So I'm just going to take this out. I'll just take this stamp off for now. Just pop it on the carrier sheet. I'm just going to dry it quickly with my gun. So ahead of time, I've cut a piece of peachy pearlised card, a piece of wood grain card, and I popped a stitch around the edge. Now I didn't use black, I used like a grey. So it's an accent, but it's not in your face accent. So another staple item for your stash is a grey fine liner pen as well. So what we're going to do, and I also cut a circle as well, and I did the stitch detail around the circle as well. I think you can see that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a little bit of a embellishment on our card with these pieces of cardstock. So I always play first. I never stick anything down properly. I always play first. So ahead of time, I stamped the little one and I coloured it with my alcohol markers, and I stamped it in a soft grey as well. So this is a really, really soft card. And the sentiment that I'm going to use is "Hooray, it's your birthday." Now I was thinking we could stamp it down here under our words, and I am going to go for that one. So back to the trusted Eureka, and I am going to stamp the sentiment in black so the sentiment pops, because everything else is quite muted. So as straight as possible. And this "Hooray, it's your birthday" is from the same set, it's this one here. So if you have got this stamp set, it's that one there I'm using. So if you are just joining us, welcome. If it's the first time you have ever joined us, welcome. We love to see new faces and show you what's going on at Stamps by Me. We do this twice a week, and I know a lot of you making a certain effort to join us every week, but please don't stress if you can't make it to the live studio. The studio is saved and is always available on our YouTube channel, so nobody ever misses out. We appreciate people have to work to craft and things, so it's always going to be there. So let's think about how we're going to put this card together. So we'd already stamped the background, so we could pop the peach element here. Just raise it a little bit. Yep, let's get these stuck down then. So I'm going to do them flat, and what we'll do is we'll raise the circle element of it just to give it a little bit of dimension. Might pull that in slightly so you can see this little bit of stamp here, because it is really lovely. And we have our circle, which I'm going to just pop some pads behind. Shall we go centre? Shall we go to the side? I'm going to go to the side just because we can, and it's something a little bit different to a traditional card. And then this little element here, we'll pop some pads behind here. I'm just going to go for some smaller pads on this one. So because it's got the arch in there, you could pop it straight in the centre. I'm just going to offset it a little bit. And then I'm just going to pop some gems around here. I'll pop a nice one up here. So there you can see how different the card looks just in greys. So I do encourage you to try different colours too, because you know sometimes we get stuck in a rut, don't we, with the black, traditional black, and you know we never really touch a different coloured ink pad, do we? But those are the 3 cards for today. I hope you've enjoyed each one of them. A little bit different to what we normally do. A little bit more intricate, but we are back on Monday using the pastels. So let me know which card you like the best. If I know, like within half an hour or an hour, some of you have already made the cards that we've done here like in studio, and it doesn't half cheer me up. So keep me posted on what you're making. Always show us on our Eureka fan page, and I will catch you all next Monday, bank holiday, at 4 p.m. using the pastels, and we will do something stripped right back, really easy, and we'll create some cards with it as well. So whatever you're doing, have a great evening, take care of yourselves, and I will catch you all next week. Take care everyone, bye.